Hello everybody. I thought I would come to you live from my garage. Hopefully this works and hopefully my internet is strong enough out here. But I wanted to show you what I'm going to be making today. I'm making one for myself, but also one for my mom. So I saw this project online and I just thought it was super cute and I really wanted to see if I could do it. So I'm going to share with you how we do it. So this part my husband made for me. Hey Dad. It's made out of, I think, 1x4s, don't quote me, 1x4s, and he cut four different pieces, glued them together, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a snowy mason jar to put on the front. We'll take the lid off, of course. You can put a little candle in it, and it'll be a really cute shelf sitter. So first we have to stain though, and that's kind of what I wanted to show you, is I wanted to show you how easy it is to stain a project. I have just started learning this myself, actually. Excuse me, I don't have a lot of workspace out here, but we're working on it. So this is the kind of wax that I use. It's Minwax, and I think that's going to be backwards for you guys, but it's just Minwax wood finish. It's a stain. This one I think is maybe this is English chestnut, so I'm using English chestnut. So you need this. You need a little rag. Let me grab my stir stick. Hold on. You need a stick to stir. Gloves are really important. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my gloves, and then I'm going to go ahead and open up my stain. Again, I'm going to see if I can try and angle this down a little bit so you guys can see my workspace. There we go. Maybe if I sit in a chair. I haven't come live from my garage yet, so this is a new place for me to share with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Put on my gloves first. And the gloves will just keep your fingers from staining. You know, who wants chestnut fingers? I don't. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and do that. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up. I'm just using a little paint can tool. I'm going to show you how easy it is to stain a piece of wood. Now, once it's stained, I like to let mine dry for 24 hours before I do anything else to it. But I'm not adding paint to these, so that's okay. So I opened up my stain. I have a little stick, and I'm just going to give it a nice little stir. You want to make sure you don't shake it. Don't shake your stain. And then you're going to want to use a clean, like, lint-free cloth. I bought a big pack from Home Depot and I've just been cutting it into little pieces because you don't really need a big piece. So go ahead and give it a good stir. All right, that looks good. So I'm going to set that aside. And then I'm going to take my piece. I'm going to start on the front. And you want to go with the grain. So what I like to do is take my fingers. I'm left-handed, okay, so Hopefully it won't be too confusing, but I'm left-handed, so I kind of wrap the cloth over my fingers, at least my pointer finger, and I kind of hold it like that, and I'm going to dip just the little top on the front. So I'm going to dip in just a little bit. You don't need a lot, okay? And then I'm going to go with, let's see, back up, with the grain of the wood, and you just kind of like rub it on. Longer strokes are better than shorter strokes. And you can go as dark or as light as you want. So if you want the color to be really dark, you're going to want to put a lot of stain on it. If you don't want it to be as dark, don't put as much stain. You can also wipe it off too. Like if you do too much, you can easily just take a clean cloth and wipe it. It won't come off completely, but it will certainly take off some of the color. So I'm going to dip again. And I'm just going to keep going. Long strokes. And you can see some of the different variations of the wood, which I kind of like, but I might go a little bit darker in some spots. I'm just going to keep going. And again, this is a 1x4 that my husband cut. You guys can easily find a tutorial out there for the cuts and stuff. This is a pretty popular project. It only took him a few minutes to make. So I'm just going to keep staining it and going around, getting in those crevices a little bit. I'll go ahead and stand it up. I'll work on the bottom. I hope you guys can see this. It's kind of hard on this desk. So you're just gonna wipe the stain on. Like I said, if you want a darker color, you can put more stain. If you want less color, you can always wipe it off when you're done. It won't get all the color off, but it'll get a lot of it. All right, now I'm gonna do the side. So you can see already how nice that looks. Now there's some discoloration here. I'm not sure what that's from. It might be the wood, I don't know. But we'll see if we can maybe add just a little bit of extra color in that spot and see kind of what happens. But I kind of like the rustic look anyway, so it's no big deal. And just add a little bit more stain in that area, see if we can get that to go. Change it a little bit. That's a little better. So I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna add a little bit more stain because I think I do want it a little bit darker today. Normally I don't like it that dark, but because this is like a Christmassy thing, I think I might keep it a little bit darker. And so like I said, we're just brushing it on. Tapping it off, and somebody's calling me. Sorry, no dice. If I don't know your number, I'm not gonna answer, sorry. But anyway, so I'm gonna wipe off too much. I'm gonna just keep going. All right, let me do that bottom piece again. Get a little bit darker stain on this one. All right. And then you gotta repeat on the back and repeat with the edges, okay? So if you're just joining us, I see a lot of people hopping on. Hello, hello, I'm coming to you live from my garage. We are using Minwax wood finish stain today. And we're just using our little cloth that I cut from a bigger cloth, and I'm gonna stain these pieces, and then we're gonna make snowy mason jars to go with it. So sometimes on this part, you can see right here, you have to get a little bit more stain in some of those grooves. So I just kind of like blot it in, and then I, kind of like rub it out, just so that it all looks nice. But if you've ever been to one of those like make and take workshop places, this is the exact same stain that they use. So I think there's like a couple different companies that do that, but we're just gonna get in these grooves real good. Sometimes you have to rub it in a little bit, like I said, on the cut sides to get it all in. I'm almost wondering now if I should have done this. I should have stained it before he finished cutting the wood, but it's okay. We're learning. And get a little bit more on that one. There we go. Okay. And like I said, you can make it as dark or as light as you want. They have so many different colors. So if you do go to the hardware store to get some wax or get some stain, they have so many colors. It's almost kind of overwhelming. It's like standing there looking at the paint wall because there's just so much. All right. So I'm just gonna keep going around all the edges. Like I said, just kind of pressing it in, because on the cut edges it is a little bit harder to get that color in. But they have like a walnut color, chestnut, they even have gray. So if you want a completely different look, you could go with like a gray stain. Lots of different options, kind of fun. But if you guys have seen my page for a while now, you saw a welcome sign that I did as a gift from my mom, actually. And this is the exact same stain that I used. So again, you can get a couple different shades or variations of the same using the same stain. I'm gonna keep going in. Those little nooks and crannies are a little difficult on this one, but we'll get there. Make sure you protect your work surface too. You don't want to do this, like on a countertop or something. You want to put down, at the very least, some cardboard. That's what I have here. So having a hard time getting in that spot. Let's see if we can get a little bit extra and kind of squeegee it in. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to repeat on the back side, and then I will show you how to make those jars. So, I don't know if you guys caught all the videos over the weekend. Oh, it was kind of crazy. My little sister was here, and we were just having a good time. she has a lot of friends that she wanted to give gifts for, but she didn't want to spend a lot of money because, you know, it all adds up. So I helped her make some budget-friendly little sample packs and some ornaments. So definitely go check that out. We definitely had a lot of fun. I'm going to stand up to do this part. But you can just see I'm just kind of rubbing it in. Longer strokes. Just kind of like that. And then we'll go ahead and do the bottom. And it dries pretty fast, but like I said, I do give it 24 hours before I'll do anything else to it. These I'm not really putting any kind of paint on, so I don't have to worry too much about them drying before I do anything else, but we'll go ahead and finish this up. Whoop. Again, making sure you're going with the wood grain. Always go with the wood grain. We are almost done with this one. I'll save the other one for later. Don't need to bore you guys with me staining more than one. But I do have an exciting announcement coming. I have very, very happy mail coming on Friday, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. I think you'll enjoy it too. Lots of fun products that I'll get to be playing with over the next couple of weeks, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. So on Friday, I'll have a package delivered. It usually comes in the late afternoon, so hopefully I'll be able to hop on for a live unboxing for that. But so stay tuned. Friday, hopefully we'll have some fun stuff to share with you guys. All right, so we're almost done with this. Like I said, on these cut sides, it is a little bit harder to get that stain in. You got to work just a little bit harder, but we're almost done with that. All right, and I'm pretty happy with the way that looks, but I am going to smooth out this one part from where my gloves have been touching it. All right, so there is my stained base. I'm going to go up on this other side too, just a little bit. All right, so there we go. There's that. So now I'm going to go ahead and put my lid back on my stain. If I can grab it with these gloves. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take off my gloves, and let's go ahead and start working on our mason jars. Now, this is the first time I've done this. So I don't know how it's going to turn out, but that's always kind of the fun, I think, in these projects, is I like to try new things. And I'm going to be playing with glitter today. Yay! I don't really like glitter. If you know me, you know that I absolutely hate glitter. I think it's one of the worst things in the world. And if it has glitter on it, I usually don't even consider buying it. I'm looking for a mallet. Here it is, to put my lid back on. All right, so we're gonna put my lid back on. Perfect. All right, let's set that aside. Okay, so now we're gonna make our mason jars. So let's do a piece of parchment paper across, and this is just so that it doesn't stick once we're done. We don't want it to stick to our surface because we are going to be adding glue. So I have wide mouth mason jars. You might have the traditional ones. I have wide mouth. I'm going to use what I have because that's what I'm about. I like to use what I have. You don't need the lid, but keep it because you could use this for lots of other things. All right, so we are going to take some tacky glue and a sponge brush, although I do have with me a regular paintbrush just in case. But we are going to make a Epsom salt and glitter mix to put on our jars. So I got this from Walgreens today. It's like $3. 3-pound bag. It looked like it was actually on sale, so now would be a good time to kind of stock up on this if you like baths or if you want to do more than one of this craft. It'd also be a good time to do that. So we're going to do 1 cup of Epsom salt. So I have, and I didn't do a scented Epsom salt. This is just a plain Epsom salt. So I'm going to do 1 cup of this. Measure it out. Go ahead and pour it in the bowl. We're going to set that aside. And then 1 tablespoon of glitter. So again, I absolutely hate glitter, but for the sake of Christmas and making something fun, we're going to go with it. So this glitter I got from the craft store. It's just your typical white crystal glitter. You need about 1 tablespoon per jar, so you might want to get a bigger size like this, or you could get a smaller size. And I'm going to use my spoon. We're just going to mix that up. I don't know if you can tell in the sunlight, but it has looks pretty glittery to me. I'm happy with the amount of glitter, so we're going to leave it at that. So that was 1 cup of Epsom salt and 1 tablespoon of glitter. And what we're going to do is we're going to take tacky glue. I should have brought a little jar out here with me. I don't have one, but that's okay. We're going to take some tacky glue and we are going to coat the outside of our jar. If I can get this open. There it goes. So I think what I'll do is just kind of put some glue on it and then we'll brush it out. But you're going to layer the whole thing in glue. Like I said, I have a sponge brush, but I also have a regular brush. I am not going to do around the edge, like around the top edge, because I'm going to tie some twine on it later. And you don't want your glue to be runny. So if it starts to run, you have too much in one spot. And I'm going to go kind of towards the bottom as well, but I'm not going to do the bottom. You're not going to see the bottom anyways. It's going to be staying on our little wood tree. I'm going to spread out that glue and really make sure you don't have any clumps or anything, because when we add the glitter and the Epsom salt, we want to make sure it's not too heavy so that it's going to drip down, because that would not look very good. So we just need a very light coat of tacky glue. I'm sure you could use Elmer's glue if you wanted. I have not tried that, but I'm sure you could do that too. I think it wouldn't, maybe it may not work as well just because it's not as thick, but it might. Add a little bit more. Just spreading out this glue. Just like that. So the sponge brush worked pretty well. I was almost kind of worried that it wouldn't, but it looks like it worked pretty well. I'm going to go in a little bit extra on some of these areas. Maybe didn't get quite as much glue, especially around the words. Like I said, these are the wide mouth jars because that's what I have. But if you have the other ones, those would look nice too. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the coverage on that. Like I said, I didn't do around the top or on the actual bottom, but it is glue. Okay, so I'm gonna take my bowl. I don't know if you guys can see. It's so hard to work outside. Okay, so I have my bowl and I have my jar. I'm gonna take my tablespoon that I used to measure out the glue, and I'm just gonna shake it and kind of pour it on the jar. And as I rotate, some of it is gonna come off. That's okay, we'll fix that. So we're just gonna kind of go like that all the way around. Looks good. And you can kind of see what's happening. It's starting to make that snowy, glittery, frosty kind of look. But it's still kind of transparent in a way. I guess, what is that, opaque? Where you can still see a little bit coming through. And this is gonna look awesome when we add our candle to it. And I'm just kind of pouring it on that glued surface. And you can see a couple areas where I could have gone a little bit heavier with the glue, but for my first time, this is perfect. Okay, and once I have really good coverage and I'm happy with the way that it looks, I'm gonna set it aside. Hello, Linda. So are you sure? Are you sure about what? I don't see comments right away. So I'm gonna go ahead and repeat with my second one because I am making 2 of these. So I'll go ahead, that didn't take very long. So I'll go ahead and repeat with the second one. And I have plenty of salt and glitter. So that 1 cup to 1 tablespoon, it looks like it would probably do a couple jars. So let's go ahead and put some more glue on this jar. So we're gonna repeat the process. I'm using that Aleene's tacky glue again. And it seems to be working out pretty well. Again, nice light layer. You don't want it so heavy that the glitter is gonna pull down and drip down. But not too light. I saw in some spots where I went maybe a little bit too light. That's okay. All right, so we're gonna keep going. Glitter, yes, I hate glitter. Yes, I am using glitter. I know, it's terrible. I don't like glitter. I almost felt weird, like in the craft store, having to be in the glitter aisle. I could just feel it. I really don't like glitter. I just feel like it gets on everything and it never, like, you can never get it off. And then, like, I'm gonna go inside. You guys watch. I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna have, like, glitter on my eyebrow or, like, in my shoe or on my toe. You know, like, something weird. Glitter just goes everywhere. I do not like glitter. Hopefully this glitter will not go everywhere. Hopefully this glitter will stick to the jar and we won't have a problem. But I do not like glitter. But maybe you guys do. I don't know. But I think it's just one of those things. But anyway, so I'm going to go around the top. Let's see. I want to make sure I don't have any clumps or lines of glue. Got a little heavy on this side. Let me just smooth some of that out. Okay, so again, same thing. I'm just gonna use that tablespoon that I used to measure to kind of put it on my jar. So I'm gonna scoop and just kind of pour it over. I have it at an angle. That helps some of the excess kind of come off right away, but I'm just going tablespoon by tablespoon, putting it right on top of that glue. So this is going to sit on that Christmas tree that I was staining earlier. I'm going to add some twine and some maybe greenery, some little embellishments that I found over the weekend at a craft store. They had a sale on everything Christmas, so it's got some really fun things to play with. We're going to keep going all the way around, just like this. If you're watching on the replay, will you put #replay in the comments? It just helps me know who's watching and who is maybe making some of these, you know, at home. I'd love to see if you guys do it. These are really easy crafts for your kids to get involved in. These make great teacher gifts. Even if you didn't want to do the wood trees, you could just do these snowy jars, and those would make really fun, easy gifts. Okay, so yeah, I told you I was going to get glitter everywhere. So now I have my 2 glitter jars. The lighting is really bad. I apologize. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this twine. You could do ribbon, you could do twine, you could do just about whatever, you know, suits your mood. But I'm going to use some twine. I'm going to go back to the first one that I did. I'm going to move that out of the way. And I am going to wrap the lid with the twine. Now this might be a little challenging since I have wet glue on it. Normally I'd probably let it dry first, but we're just going to kind of go like that. So let me get a longer piece. All right. And again, you could personalize this with whatever you have. If you don't have twine, that's okay. You just do whatever you have. I'm just going to go around. I'm going to wrap this a couple times. Probably falls under the category of maybe like a farmhouse look or a rustic look. I know that's really popular this year. I went a little crazy with the buffalo plaid, I have to admit. I just love buffalo plaid. Red, black, orange. Just love the buffalo plaid. So I'm going to keep going around. This would be a lot easier, like I said, if I had let my jar dry first and then added my twine. Okay, so then when I get down to the end, I have my 2 ends. I'm just going to tie a quick little bow. Nothing crazy. Just a quick little bow. Okay. So now we have the start of our jar. Now, I found some little greenery. I was looking for like little sprigs of, I don't know, like I don't know, what do you call it? Like Christmas tree. like fur or whatever. But I found these instead, and this is actually from the wedding section. But I thought these would be really fun too to make like a little mini wreath. And you could use raffia. Yes, I have lots of raffia. You can use that. Let's see. So I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna use my wire cutters probably to cut this. So is one of the reasons why I wanted to be out in the garage, because my husband has all these wonderful tools if I could find where they are. Okay. Wire cutters. All right, so I'm gonna take this vine that I found. Again, use what you have. Maybe if you have, you know, some greenery left over from another project. But I see it's like a long coil. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make like a little wreath. I might do like 2 little wraps like that. Okay, so I just wound it up twice. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Maybe. I know there's like a safety lock on this. Hold on. We can do this. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. All right. So now I have my own little baby wreath. And like I said, it's just the piece of wire, and I'm just gonna go around to make like a little wreath. Let me go a little bit bigger. All right, and then I'm just gonna kind of twirl the ends around. Okay, so there's that. So then I found this piece of floral stuff. These are just like these little red beads. They're on little pieces of wire, and I thought, well, I could cut those to make it look like little holly berries. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut off, let's do like 3. I like things in 3s. So I'm gonna cut off 3 of those using those wire cutters. 1, I'm gonna pick the ones with the longest wire. 2, let's see, I'm gonna go the 3rd one. Okay, and since they have a little piece of wire on the end, I'm just gonna wrap them around the top of my wreath. So I'm just gonna kind of put it behind and then push up that little red wire and flip it over. And there's 1. Okay, so you can see that. There's 1. I'm gonna do the same thing. Whoop. I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. Just gonna kind of use that wire that's already there from the little red ball to put it on. We'll do 1 more. Wants to stick. This wire is a little bit harder to work with, but you kind of get the idea. So now you have like a little mini wreath. So you could do it like this, you could do it like this. So you can untie your twine, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna untie my twine. I'm gonna tie it again in a bow, but this time I'm gonna tie it with a little wreath attached. My glue is not totally dry yet, so make sure when you're doing this at home that you allow your glue to dry first. I'm just attaching this so you guys can kind of see what the finished product looks like. You're gonna hear my glue dropping all over the place. Ah. Yeah, I'm knocking a lot of glitter off right now, which is not what I wanted to do, but that's okay. But this would be kind of like the finished product, okay? So again, you could play around with the placement and everything, and then you would grab just like a little tea light. Let me grab one. I have one hanging out over here. Just grab one of these little battery operated tea lights and you could drop it in the candle, and you can kind of see, maybe not, you can kind of see it glowing in there. But then you would take the tree. I'm gonna grab the one that's not stained. You grab the tree and then you'd put it on the tree. Ta-da! So that is what I am making for the next couple days. I have 2 of these wood trees already made. Yeah, wow. Easy though, right? Like that is so easy. It's such an easy gift idea. Like I said, even if you didn't have the wood trees, if you are local to me, let me know. If you want one made for you, I'm sure we have enough wood that we could probably crank out another 1 or 2. But these jars, I'm sure you have mason jars at home. If not, Walmart has them usually like in a box. These actually make really good food storage containers too. We love to make soup this time of year and store them in mason jars and freeze it or refrigerate it. But anyways, so use what you have. And then, like I said, I found the greenery pieces and stuff at the local craft store, which I had to go there anyways to get glitter because I don't like glitter. But yeah, so here's your snowy mason jar craft with the tree. Yes, I see that you want one. We'll take care of that. We'll take care of that for you. So anyways, yeah, so there's your craft for today. Like I said, a big announcement coming Friday. I have some very, very happy mail coming, and I'm super excited to share it with you guys, so make sure you look out for the unboxing of that. FedEx usually comes in the late afternoon, so it might be an evening video depending on what's going on here. So anyways, have a great Monday. Happy crafting. See you guys next time.